Welcome back to Science Speaks, the podcast where we dive into the fascinating stories that science has to tell. I'm your host, Daniel Whitmore, and today we're headed to southern Italy, to a place where geology and history collided in the most dramatic of ways, Mount Vesuvius. Joining me is Dr. Emily Carter, volcanologist and professor of geosciences at the University of Colorado. Emily, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Daniel. I'm thrilled to be here and excited to talk about one of the most iconic volcanoes in the world.
Let's begin with the basics. Vesuvius is legendary, but before we get into the drama of eruptions and ash clouds, could you help us understand what kind of volcano Vesuvius actually is?
Mount Vesuvius is a stratovolcano in the Gulf of Naples, Italy, and is considered one of the world's most dangerous volcanoes due to its history of violent eruptions. It is located near the Bay of Naples, about 9 kilometers east of Naples, just above the Gulf of Naples in the Campania region, and on the west coast of Italy. The volcano was formed by lava flows and smaller eruptions, resulting from the collision of the African and Eurasian tectonic plates roughly 25,000 years ago. Its formation is directly linked to the collision of the European and African tectonic plates.
Now let's get to the eruption that most people think of immediately. 79 AD, the one that buried Pompeii and Herculaneum. Emily, walk us through what happened during that fateful event.
The eruption of Mount Vesuvius that destroyed Pompeii occurred on August 24, 79 AD, burying the city beneath nearly 9 feet of volcanic debris. At the time, between 10,000 and 20,000 people lived in Pompeii and nearby Herculaneum, though estimates vary. Clearly expressed precursors, including black clouds and seismic activity, warned of the impending eruption, which unfolded as a pyroclastic surge, a deadly flow of superheated gas and rock reaching temperatures over 900 degrees Fahrenheit. The eruption expelled lava, ash, pyroclastic flows, and volcanic gases, devastating the region. Remarkably, the volcanic ash preserved Pompeii and Herculaneum, protecting buildings and carbonized artifacts for nearly 2,000 years, offering historians a vivid snapshot of Roman life.
Just unimaginable. And what's so haunting is how well preserved those towns are. It's like time froze.
Exactly, it gave archaeologists an extraordinary window into Roman life.
Was that the only major eruption? Though surely Vesuvius hasn't been quiet ever since.
Mount Vesuvius has erupted dozens of times since 79 AD, with over 30 recorded eruptions, including 8 major eruptions in the last 17,000 years. The most recent eruption occurred on March 18, 1944. It remains one of 3 active volcanoes in Italy, alongside Etna and Stromboli, and is particularly known for its devastating 79 AD eruption that destroyed Pompeii and Herculaneum. Among its post-79 AD eruptions, the 1631 event caused the most destruction, killing thousands of people and burying villages under ash, lava, and mud flows. The volcano's activity and the region's seismic risks highlight the need for continued study and monitoring. Mount Vesuvius is closely monitored by the Osservatorio Vesuvio in Ercolano and Naples through extensive networks of seismic and gravimetric stations. A GPS-based geodetic array, satellite-based synthetic aperture radar, and local surveys with chemical analyses of gases from fumaroles. Satellite sensors and local seismic and infrasound sensors, along with web cameras and regional networks, help detect activity not visible at the surface. Signs of renewed activity could include the 62 AD earthquake-like seismic events or gas emissions, as well as visible changes like a small crack.
That's interesting what you said.
For evacuation, the Vesuvius Red Zone encompasses 18 towns within a 4-mile radius, where some 600,000 people currently live, the most densely populated volcanic danger zone globally. The Italian government has plans to evacuate these residents within days if major activity resumes, though current protocols focus on smaller eruption scenarios with recommendations to prepare for larger events. The broader area, including Naples, houses 3 million people at risk, making Vesuvius one of the world's most hazardous volcanoes due to its explosive potential and dense population.
So it's still very much a threat. That leads to my next question: what's being done to monitor this sleeping giant?
Exactly. It's one of the reasons Vesuvius is considered one of the most dangerous volcanoes in the world, not just because of its potential for destruction, but because of how many lives are at stake.
That's reassuring, but also a little unsettling when you consider how densely populated that region is.
Right? Understanding its past helps us prepare for its future.
So the history of Vesuvius isn't just a story of the past, it's also a very real issue today.
Thank you, Daniel. It's been a pleasure.
Emily, thank you so much for joining us and helping us unpack the science and the stakes of Mount Vesuvius. That's it for today's episode of Science Speaks. If you enjoyed today's discussion, be sure to follow us and leave a review. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.